Hey, that sound means it's 5 o'clock. And that sound also means that it's time to start. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Metroid Fusion, the fourth and last game in the series prior to Metroid Dread coming out next week. Uh, excuse me. This one launched on the GBA. Switch this over to headphones, that's a little better. Hopefully that's not too quiet now. Yeah, this launched on the GBA. It was technically the second main series entry to appear on a handheld system. So they're kind of flip-flopping with every release as to what console it comes out on. I'd been assigned to watch over Biologics research team, so I once again found myself on the surface of SR388. Man, look at how nice that power suit looks in this game. Hey, there's Lemon. Glad to see you could make it, bud. It was there that I was attacked by a life form I had never encountered before. I'm also glad this game showcases the fact that Samus defaults to using missiles instead of the power beam. It was only later that I learned the identity of my attacker, the parasitic organism we now know as X. Unaware of my condition, I was returning to the station when disaster struck. Once the X had infested my central nervous system, I lost consciousness, and my ship drifted into an asteroid belt. So much trouble could have been averted if it wasn't for one thing. The ship's emergency systems automatically ejected the escape pod before impact. Biologics vessel recovered it and transported me to Galactic Federation HQ. However, during the journey, the X multiplied within me, corrupting large areas of my power suit. It then came to light that the organic components of my power suit had become so integrated with my system that it could not be removed while I was unconscious. Large portions of my suit had to be surgically removed, dramatically altering my physical appearance. However, the X in my central nervous system were too embedded to be removed safely. I was given a minimal chance of survival. So it says here that her physical appearance was radically altered, but at the end it's not. And there's a developer explanation for that, but also the fact that this happens somewhere other than the research station where the rest of the game takes place, and I hadn't considered that, really leads me to believe that things in the series are so much worse than they seem. Then someone found a cure. They proposed using a Metroid cell to make an anti-X vaccine. It seems that the Federation had managed to preserve a cell culture from the last infant Metroid from SR388. The serum was prepared and injected without delay. The X parasites were immediately and completely destroyed. As for me, one life ended, yet I survived, reborn as something different. Pondering this fact, I realize I owe the Metroid hatchling my life twice over. We'll soon be arriving at the BSL research station. I must prepare for docking. The ship's computer has notified me of our approach to the Biologic Space Labs, or BSL, research station. During my surgery, the research team sent the last batch of creatures we captured there, as well as the infected pieces of my power suit. After regaining consciousness, I learned that an unexplained explosion rocked the station. For some reason, this awoke a nameless fear in my heart, and now I am being sent there to investigate. My mission on the BSL station will be overseen by my new ship's computer. Following the commands of this blunt, computerized CO is something I have to bear, as it was a condition of my taking the ship. For someone who dislikes taking orders, this is the second time I've found myself having to do so. It makes me recall my other CO. There's been an explosion in the quarantine bay. The bay currently stores capsules containing recent samples from SR-388 as well as parts of your suit infected by the X parasites. The cause of the explosion is as yet unclear. Investigate. The quarantine bay is here. Move quickly and quietly. You are still unable to use most of your latent abilities. Don't forget that, Samus. Stop at the navigation room on the way. Uplink from there. Is your objective clear? Yes. Now go to the quarantine bay. So, I guess I should talk about the differences between what most people consider the best Metroid game, which is Super, and what most people consider, well, and what Fusion is. Fusion is much, much, much more linear and story driven than Fusion is. I can't even do anything down here. Uh, I just always forget that that's a thing until I come up through it at the end of the game. But Fusion holds hands the entire way, more or less. The quarantine bay is ahead. Biosigns are confirmed. Be careful. And a story holding your hand the other way, or at least guiding you through it, isn't necessarily a bad thing. But the last Metroid game before this one was Super Metroid, which, outside of opening narration, was literally just about as hands-off as it could possibly be. Everything that you learned in that game was done through environmental storytelling and basically figuring things out for yourself outside of, the buttons to use weapons and abilities. So going from that to Fusion is a bit of a radical jump. That doesn't mean Fusion's bad necessarily, it just means that it's a different flavor of game. And I think Dread will be somewhere between Fusion and Super gameplay-wise, or at least narration-wise. This is unfortunate news. The specimens brought back by the field team were infected by X parasites. The X can mimic its prey. Any specimen could have hosted it. Before the explosion, a security sensor scanned one. The gelatinous X parasites. Wow, I can't freaking talk. The gelatinous X parasites invade and rapidly reproduce, killing the host creature. They also absorb DNA and use it to mimic the host. You were almost killed by an X infection. Only the Metroid vaccine saved your life. It seems Metroids were the main predators of the X. That's why the vaccine worked so quickly and so well. But it has also changed your cellular makeup. You'll never be infected by X again. In fact, you can now absorb any free-floating X parasites without a host by merely touching them. This will allow you to replenish health and restore weapons. You may also restore latent abilities this way, so pursue free X parasites whenever you possibly can. This station is home to many species, some violent ones. We must keep the X out of the breeding environments at all costs. This is vital, Samus. I am already detecting massive biosigns in this region. The X are gathering. This may be our chance to exterminate them, but you are only at 10% battle capacity. Your chance of survival is extremely low. The Federation needs you alive and on duty, Samus. Is your objective clear? Yes. Now get going. I've released the lock on level 0 hatches. Look for the blinking hatches. So, whereas in Super Metroid, anyone who watched me play that would have been able to see, I really was just able to rip through the game in any manner I please, and especially anyone that watches any speed runs or anything will be familiar with the concept of sequence breaking to the degree that Metroid allows you to do it. It is very, very difficult to sequence break in Fusion. There is like one, maybe two that you can pull off. And one of them is so difficult to do that the developers hid an Easter egg scene in it, if you manage to find it. I've received news from HQ. They can support you with downloadable weapons data. Once you have this data, you'll be able to use missiles. This will help against some enemies your beam can't hurt. Head to the data room for the download. The data room is here. Is your objective clear? Yes. With missiles, your chance of survival climbs to 20%. It's nice that they talk about chances of survival this early in the game, but literally it never comes up again. That computer reminds me of a gruff Federation CEO I served under named Adam Malkovich. He called me lady on missions. From anyone else it would have sounded sarcastic, but Adam made it sound dignified. Out of respect and with some irony, I named the computer after him. I've also realized that the introduction to this game completely makes Other M non-canon because it flat out talks about a cell culture saved from the last Metroid and not any of the dozens bred in Other M, which takes place after Super and before Fusion. Hooray! Missile down data! Now I can shoot Mibbles. Another big change in Fusion compared to earlier Metroid games is doors aren't gated by weapon types. They are, in fact, just gated by story progress, more or less. Electrical interference has knocked out the elevators on the main deck. This may be related to the X. I'll work on it. As for you, try to find another way to the target. It's located here. I'm reading huge biosigns, so I hope your missiles work. To reload missiles, you can use a recharge room or absorb a special type of X parasite. You'll see them. Try it out. Is your objective clear? Yes. Missiles are your only hope. Don't hesitate to use them. Now find a way to the target. On it, Adam. So, because I'm a fool and I shot an extra missile, well, actually, I'm going to save too. Because it's not like it's a bad idea. But this game is both generous and unforgiving at the same time. It's unforgiving because of the fact that part of the method they used to create the atmosphere of fear and terror is making it so that everything does way more damage to Samus. You get much less health from killing enemies. Granted, you get it consistently, but as opposed to being able to pick up the 20 health units that exist in the earlier games, there are only 10. You can, at points, find... oh, I don't know if I ever actually knew about that. You can find red X on occasion, mostly from the eye doors. which are the same as the ones found on planet Zebes. At least I'm assuming that they're supposed to be the same. And they restore a lot more health, a lot of health and ammunition at the same time. Should have looked into remapping the controls. I don't like where the jump button is for this. But it's too late now. Now we've got, yeah, what's this kid's name again? Amorphous, I think? Who is in, Metroid 2. We fought him in another Metroid 2 remake, where he is the guardian of the Spring Ball. However, in Fusion, he just has the Morph Ball ability. But it is a nice little nod to Metroid 2, and that's where most of the enemies are from. Or at least, that's what the game wants you to think. Also, this game very quickly introducing a technique earlier Metroid games did not have, the ledge grab. Oh, there's a dead man on the floor right there. I didn't even notice that. I guess that's what happens now that I'm playing it on a large screen. Larger screen, I guess. But definitely one of the things they retained from Super for the better was the teaching you how to do things along the way. So you can't get to the first boss without learning how to use the ledge grab. Game makes you figure it out. Samus, it's as I feared. The breeding environments have been invaded by X-parasites. Sector 1, SRX, shows several abnormalities on biosensors. Sector 1 is a simulation of the SR388 ecosystem. To get there, take the main elevator to the access shaft and use Elevator 1. Is your objective clear? Yes. Use the navigation room just inside for further briefing. I'm not sure, but I think that whoever allowed the X into the environment may also be linked to the earlier explosion. So counter to... Oh, I know what this room is. It's going to hurt. It's cold in here. But there's a frozen jerk that I want to show off. So counter to... Super Metroid, which most of your recovery had to be done through killing enemies, and there were a number of specific points where low health or very basic enemies would spawn that you could easily shoot for pickups. There are, in basically each of the sections of this game, there are recharge stations which refill both health and ammunition, as opposed to in Super where you got one or the other. And there we have the main antagonist of this game. And now, as part of that whole linear storytelling thing, I am locked down here. The game really preys on the fear of uncanny, which it does very, very well. The fear of self. Anyway, here we are in Sector 1. The main elevator leading to the access shaft has been severely damaged. It will be totally unusable for some time, unfortunately. Some unknown agent is at work. Something very powerful, certainly not human. I'll report when I know more. Now listen closely. The X in Sector 1 have invaded the atmospheric stabilizers. They must want to alter the environment to their needs. They are already reproducing. Clear all 5 atmospheric stabilizers to stop them. Now, get moving. Paranoid saving. And because I froze myself a little bit, I'm going to refill. So it's not necessarily worth me picking up any of these X because the GUI scientists, they just constantly respawn. Oh boy. I'm not sure what that mass of things is supposed to be, honestly. And here we have the atmospheric stabilizers. Which are just pumping out more X parasites because that is their entire purpose. The X know only reproduce. Reproduce, infect, consume. And that's why you get this. They are, in a short matter of time, they have quite literally managed to just infect everything. And the game doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't do the best job in explaining how opening security hatches lets them into new places, considering the game also makes it look like they just fly through the walls. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But, I mean, I guess there is some consequence to opening hatches. Maybe it means it lets other things go through that cause the problems. I don't know. Alright, good. I can just one-tap these from either direction. I do wish that there was a dedicated button to aim diagonally down as well as diagonally up, but since this came out on the Game Boy Advance, there were a very limited number of buttons they had to work with. Ultimately, though, it's the same control. Well, Zero Mission copied the control scheme for this, and we made it through that just fine, so... Ow. Now see, here's the first real curiosity. Why are there Zebesian pirates on the space station? Why was the Federation playing around with Zebesians? But here we are again with the... You have to figure this thing out to progress. And in this case, it's clinging to ladders, which The game sort of already taught you a little bit, or teaches a little bit, but the bigger thing is that uh, the ceiling ladders, in this case. Reinforcing a lot of the same concepts that you've used already at this point. Just one left. They're starting to get more hostile, more aggressive. I like the fact that the ones in the background have the green palette, because that's the color they're originally supposed to be on SR388, which makes it seem like those ones aren't infected. I can't say for certain, but it's best just to assume that everything in this game is an X-Parasite, because by the time you encounter it, it is. There is, unfortunately... Okay, we've got the returning security hatches, the one-way doors, essentially. I don't think there are any enemies in this game that aren't infected. Which, I mean, yeah, that's kind of the point. Everything's an enemy, everything's against you. That's falls back to that, creating the sense of fear and isolation. There is no safety, there is no friend, there is no anything to help out. Yep, psyched myself out. I don't remember what boss this is. Never mind, I remember. It's... You know, I just realized that that actually would be Morph Ball. This damn thing tries to sell itself off as Morph Ball, and there's never been a statue in any of the games that has Morph Ball. It always just sits off by itself. So now we have the Charge Beam, which slightly alters the shape of the standard beam. This game has a unique bit to it where a charge shot also has this neat little flare, which does in fact do more damage if you're close enough to something to hit it with. There's also, you know, the standard pseudo screw attack that you get for having a charge beam, etc. Wait, now, damn it. I think the standard beam does a little bit more damage now as well. There we go. Mission objective completed. Hey, no turning back into enemies. So one thing this game really has going for it is that the pickup placement is very devious. Things are hidden a lot better in here than they were in Super. Which, I mean, also makes sense. Super was technically the home planet of the Chozo and Samus, so it makes sense that they would have left things all over the place for her. The Federation wouldn't really have need to do that. which is why you don't find the ability sitting around like you did in Super or AM2R or Zero Mission. They also severely nerfed wall jumping in this game. They completely gutted single wall jumping. So you can only wall jump if you have two walls to go back and forth from. And that's that. We have successfully completed Objective 1. We can head back to the navigation room to talk to Mr. Compooperman and find out what to do next. Because we quite literally can't go anywhere else at this point. Hello, Mr. Compooperman! Atmospheric stabilizers online, but many X have already made it to other sectors, it seems. In particular, Sector 2, the tropical habitat, shows abnormalities. I suspect the X entered this sector with the help of our unseen saboteur. He or it may be in Tro now. Samus, get over there. We need to put an end to this. Start moving. I'll brief you at the Tro navigation room. Okay, I'm just going to refer to them by numbers. The shorter designations are stupid. I think this is a mini cutscene. Yes. As I listened to the briefing, my thoughts turned to Adam. The real Adam understood me well. He would end orders by saying, "Any objections, lady?" He knew I wouldn't disagree. That was just his way of noting our trust. I wonder if I can trust this computer, too. So, in the first, what is this, half an hour of this game, we've had more cutscenes than any of the other Metroid games combined. All the other Metroid games combined. Which, I'm certainly not opposed to more story in a game, but I don't know, for a Metroid game it's weird, if that makes sense. They've always just let the story tell itself rather than spoon-feeding it. I have learned the identity of our mystery saboteur. Samus, it's an X mimicking you. I've dubbed it the SAX. I believe the SAX came from the capsule containing your infected suit parts. It used a power bomb to escape the quarantine bay. That explosion breached the capsules containing all the X that started this disaster. But the SAX is definitely our biggest worry right now. The SAX is mimicking you at full power. You can't face it. If you see the SAX, just run. Don't think about fighting. You are still very vulnerable to cold, an unexpected side effect of the Metroid vaccine. Like Metroids, you can be frozen by an ice beam. Of course, the SAX is armed with the ice beam. Stay away. If you see it, just run. HQ says they have bomb data ready in the data room. Bombs will help you find a way out if the SAX traps you. The data room is here, but it's sealed by a level 1 hatch. You'll have to find the security room and release the level 1 locks. But per safety protocols, it's not marked on the map. You'll have to find it on your own somehow, Samus. So first find the security room and unlock level 1 hatches, then go to the data room and get that bomb data. Keep an eye out for the SAX. So this brings up another difference between Fusion and the rest of the series. Whereas in the other games, there never were any cold-related hazards to worry about. In this game, not only do they exist, but it's a prominent story factor. It's something that you have to absolutely worry about. Well, that's less than ideal. So these wiggly, goofy things, I have no idea what they are, have to be frozen to get over, and I can't do that. I cannot have a little ice beam as a treat. I'm not allowed. So that goes straight over to... This will head straight to where I want to go. But I don't know if the path to unlock the hatches is over here or not. Okay. Well, that means that I need bombs to open that up. Same with that. And all this means that this is not the correct way to go. It's kind of interesting how quickly this whole area became overgrown with a bunch of vegetation. And wow, that did 55 damage to me. So, yeah. I have to wonder if this sector is always supposed to look like this, or if it's just because, you know, the X are infecting everything and making all the life go completely berserk. Because in Super, these are green creatures. In Fusion, they're red. I think the point is it had vegetation, the X parasites made it go crazy. Yeah, that's my guess. I can't imagine the scientists actually letting things get that out of hand. But then again, it's a whole bunch of terribly unethical experimentation, so what do I know? Alright, so we have... Right, you have this one... Ow. Jesus. You've got the tropical, you've got the SR388, you've got the cold, the night, the hot. I feel like there's another way out of that room, but I don't remember if or what it is. That's not the point. The point is that I can go and get tasty, tasty explosives. I mean, yeah, there really is nothing on the main floor. The central area is just sort of controls and storage. Bomb data downloaded. Now, I can explode stuff. Well, that's not a good sound. And honestly, the sound of footsteps is something that will come back to haunt us many times over throughout the rest of this game. Anytime you hear the footsteps, that is the sound of the SAX marching around somewhere. And it is just as problematic and worrisome as Adam hints that it is. Because the SAX in all encounters will kill you. It is that concerning. Oh, what's this? Something I can't actually get right now. I need high jump for that. Alright, so down and in. Come here, tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty parasites to refill my health. And now we're back into... This is sort of just the sort of unaffiliated background, the behind-the-scenes areas, as it were. Ow. Shot spikes at me. Little detail appreciation. The little splaps of water as you run around in here. I'm not sure what it is with this blue one, but Jesus, is it strong. And that's one of the rare enemies that can drop a red X. Oh, okay. No, this isn't... This isn't the bad that I thought it was. I feel like that's coming up soon, but... Where's the thing? There's the thing. So all of the enemies in this game are more or less the same as the enemies in previous games. However, they've all been made more aggressive and deadlier thanks to the X-Parasite infection. And one thing the game really doesn't talk about is the fact that the X have some fascination with the color red, because they turn a lot of the things that they infect and create red as opposed to whatever normal color it's supposed to be. So, like in Super, these little leapy, pancakey guys are flat and they're yellowish, but in Fusion, they're spiky and red. It's the same with all these guys. These guys are normally a greenish, bluish in other games that feature them. And here they're red. I'm not sure what's... Oh, never mind. I know what this room is. It's a sad place. Alright, what do we have? This is a wet place, and I can't jump high enough to grab the ceiling. Those are both not ideal conditions for me. Yeah, can't go this way either. So, progression gating. Not this time. Hey! Illegal! About as much health as I'm gonna get. Which way am I supposed to go? We're gonna go this way. I like the save room. Yeah, that's another unique feature of this game, is the beams all have their own width. So the normal beam is essentially 1 wide. Charge beam is 2. I think all the later beams are technically 3. E-tanks are going to be the most important pickups through this run due to how damaging everything is. Okay, so I have down as an option here. Actually, I think down is... Yeah, down is the way. Because I don't have funky footballs yet. Which means... Let's see. This is high jump spring ball collection. That's a problem. Alright, so... That was where I need to be. Because that is where the boss is. And I don't know the names of the bosses very well in this game. Fortunately, no supers to help me out with the stupid eye doors in this game. At least not in the same sense that there were in previous games. The beams, they do nothing. Like most things, you have to shoot it in the eye. Most things hate being shot in the eye. Ow. Of course, if you get eaten, you can also drop bombs. It doesn't like that much either. The downside is your aim has to be pretty good in this. The longer the fight goes on, the less time you have to shoot it. Ah, crap. Crap. Ow. The core X will do a ton of damage if it runs into you. High jump and jump ball abilities recovered. Which means I'm not reliant on morph ball bombs to jump in morph ball form anymore. I got these mad hops. Hops so mad you wouldn't believe how mad they are. Let me tell you, these hops, They're furious. Alright, but now we can, you know, go do other things. Now all of the bugs are starting to hibernate. Which is fine by me. Wow, this is a lot more destroyed than it was a few minutes ago. There it is. The other me. The evil one. Now, I could have immediately run over and dropped down. But that would have been a terrible idea. Like, oh my god, level's a bad idea. However, now I can also really climb up all of this nonsense. But I forget what was in here. I can get across this now. For some missiles, which are insanely useful in Fusion. Definitely not something I want to leave behind. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting the whole way back around to any of that anytime soon. Yeah, this is... I need space jump for that. Can't get through there because there's a bug blocking the way. Ah, yes. Use the jump to get through. Alright. Let's see. A little bit more jump mechanics. And freedom! We out! Wait, not that way. What did I need to get through here? Oh, come here, you... Ah! I thought I needed ice missiles. Turns out I just needed to be able to jump good. Okay, now we go out. Another sector completely cleared. We'll never be back. There's nothing else to worry about here. Talk to the tin can and find out what to do next. Samus, we've got trouble. Releasing the security lock may have been a bad idea. The SAX has invaded the water environment in Sector 4, with several thousand X. With the blue hatches active, the SAX slipped in easily. The creatures and systems in Sector 4 are already showing multiple irregularities. I'm currently investigating. I'll brief you in the navigation room when you arrive. Now, head for Sector 4. Oh, okay, boss. Whatever you say. And cutscene to ruminate on the SAX. The SAX. An enemy with my strongest abilities. But does it have reason? Probably not. It's just a killing machine. In my current state, I can't face it head on. The SAX is me, only heartless. I must stop it before it learns its potential and threatens the universe. Yeah, we're gonna fight the SAX. Let's go right now. Fight it, fight it. And get murdered. Because it's 5,000 times stronger than me. How did it get into Sector 2 without coming through the elevator in the navigation room? This sector has taken more damage than expected. I knew the X were powerful and destructive, but still, this seems to be purposeful. We certainly can't rule out the possibility that the SAX has a high degree of intelligence. I find the X fascinating, especially this SAX. But I digress. This sector is home to a very large creature that the researchers call Ceres. It is capable of moving and attacking at ultra high speed. The more senseless and widespread destruction here may be attributable to Ceres. No doubt the SAX released it, but I can't be sure why yet. Ceres has returned often to the breeding tank here. Its natural behavior must be to go back to it periodically. It's a valuable specimen, but you've been authorized to terminate it. If you don't, it may invade other sectors. While you're moving, be careful. Some broken power nodes have electrified the water, but we can't cut the power. Doing so would affect the whole station adversely. If you touch the water, you'll be electrocuted. Conserve energy as you go. The SAX moving around through vents. I mean, yeah, that's the most probable reason, really. Considering there are a ton of hidden back paths between everywhere in this game. I don't think anything ever changes in this room, but it's funny that there's little crabs dancing in the background. They're just having a good time. There's some of that electrified water. And here is more crab. Um, Targets up there, but hidden pathways up here. Plap, plap, plap. I'm not sure how much of this I'm supposed to be able to do at this point, but I'm doing it. Oh yeah, we're doing it, Mr. Krabs. Ow. Ow. Would you knock it off? Oh, come here. I need health. So, in case it wasn't completely obvious, I don't know this game anywhere near as well as I know Super. I know the main story of Fusion pretty well, but the actual map gameplay itself are relatively unknown to me. I'm probably playing a little bit slower than I otherwise would be. Oh, I played Fusion a lot on on Game Boy, but I never played as anywhere near as much as I have played Super. One of the first games you beat alone. That's, given the time that this came out, that's honestly impressive. Because that was 2004, so 17 years ago, so, you know, you and I were barely in the double digits there. I know it was a while before I was able to beat this game on my own. Certainly what it was easily more than a year. I focused more on Metroid Prime than I did on Fusion. Ow. I really do enjoy the fact that there's just little crabs raving in the background everywhere. Just... they're just having a good time. And I can't fault them for that. Everyone is allowed to have a good time. As long as it's not infected by parasites. If you're infected by parasites, consult your doctor. Wait, what? What is this? How long has this been here? I never knew about this. No, I never knew that that side room was there. That's completely new to me. Wait, okay. Other thing? Well, I'll give it a look. I mean, I wouldn't be entirely surprised if there's something else in here, but I have no idea where it would be. Probably just going to be a lot easier to come back and check it again once I have power bombs. Oh, please continue climbing up. Okay. Oh, oh. It's supposed to go this way. Okay. I mean, I've never 100%ed any Metroid game. Least of all Fusion, so... For what I do know about this game, I'm going to do what I do know, but a lot of it's going to be just figuring shit out on the fly. What a suspicious crack in the wall. Ha! the breeding tank. But wait. Our speedy saboteur is already dead. Which raises a question in my mind. I wonder how long Ceres was dead before any of this happened. Was Ceres like a dead specimen before the X came along, or did they find it, infect it, and eat it? I'd have to imagine they ate it because you fight the X version of it here very shortly. But also, why are there still so many bubbles coming from it? Why does Dead Thing have bubbles? How's there that much air still trapped in it? This is an annoying door. Because you have to be... Basically... You have to jump as soon as you see the eye open because of the water physics. I always forget how early this game throws Speed Booster at you. Damn it. Ow. 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 This fight would be so much more fun if the screen wasn't this small. I'm probably going to die because I keep getting rammed. Oh, it's slowed down just in time. I don't know if this thing actually follows, like, a set pattern or not. Like, I've seen some videos of people beating Ceres in, like, no time at all, but I have no idea how they know when to do anything. I honestly don't. We'll just, like, walk in and be like, ah, shoot a missile here, here, and 3 seconds later here. Oh, look, Ceres is dead. I'm like, fucking how? How even? And there we got Sparky. Game is nice enough to put the save station right here. Alright, so unlike in Super, which, yeah, I know, I keep referring back to Super a lot, but... Oh, I actually don't think there's enough room here to charge up a Shine Spark. Okay, well, now I'm curious to know how you're actually supposed to get to either of these items. Okay, but like, how... How does get up? How does get missile expansion? The hell did you come from? Okay, well then there has to be... There we go. I don't know why I thought that was a Shine Spark thing. Probably because this is where you get the speed booster. Alright, so... Well, no, I mean, that's... That's it then, isn't it? That's... Okay, so... I did what I was supposed to do. I dealt with the speed snake. Now the question is, how the hell do I get out of here? I want to go down, I guess. Probably Shine Spark through here. At least if you're better than I am and not an idiot. Ah, there we go. Right, you need Speed Booster to get in here to lower the water level so that you can use Speed Booster to get back out. Gurgle, gurgle. The game's like, here, have a missiles as a treat. But without Gravity Suit, we can't run even in the shallow water. It's definitely not something I'd want to open even if I could. Red hatches are endgame areas. Now, at the very least, I don't have to worry about getting electrocuted from the water. I can just grab this, thank you, 80 missiles. Oh, okay. Thought that one room would be long enough to get through, but I guess not. Here we go! There we go. Oh. Wait, there are... There's an item in here that I completely ran past without even noticing. Oh, I probably can't get it from this side. Or can I? Oh, nope, I can't. We need footballs to get that one. That whatever it is. Really? This room's just always going to be gated by golden crab? Which, I mean, there's worse things for it to be gated by, but... Really? Always golden crab? Alright, well... We killed the danger noodle. Got the pumped up kicks. Let's talk to the computer again. So Ceres had been infected by the X2. Well, as a result, you recovered another ability. At this rate, you may be able to face the SAX yet, but that's still a ways off. HQ has more support data. This time it's missile upgrade data. You desperately need this, but the data room is sealed with a level 4 lock, the highest security level. Let's avoid opening sensitive areas unless it's necessary. Also, the route to the data room in Sector 2 is blocked by still more SAX activity. I note a deliberate activity pattern, as if it is blocking your recovery intentionally. Samus, it looks like your best option for this download is in Sector 3. You will find the Sector 3 data room on your map after using a navigation room there. Is your objective clear? Now head for Sector 3. Yes, yes, yes. Mystery target room. Literally the exact opposite side of the ship. Station. Right, this is a station, not a ship. I think we've seen the last of the elevator cutscenes for a while. But now that we have the speed booster, we at least get to do this. The doors in this game open just in time for the speed booster, unlike in Super, where they will not. Alright, so we come in here. Say howdy ho, neighbor. Thankfully, the X have not invaded this area yet. The data room here is sealed by another security hatch. In order to download, you must find the security room, and activate level 2 security hatches. This may allow the SAX and X parasites into the area, but we are left with no choice. Your recovery is our main goal. The data room is here. As I explained, security rooms can't be shown on the map. Be careful, Samus. You will see very violent organisms here. And avoid the ultra-heated areas. Your suit can't take such high temperatures yet, but we're working on it. Level 2 hatches are green. Release the lock and proceed to the data room for download. Super missile data is ready. Your firepower will triple. First, activate green hatches, then go to the data room. There are no ultra-heated areas on the route, so turn back if you enter one. So, if they're planning just to send Samus all this weapon data, you know, electronically, why doesn't she just get in the ship, like head to HQ, download a bunch of this data, and then come back? Like, are they that worried about a sealed station? I mean, I guess so. I guess that's the whole thing. Right? Like... Ow, too hot, too hot. Well, butts. Oh, I jumped too early. Damn it. Easy peasy. There we go. We got green. Check it out. Look at that green. I mean, I don't see what the big deal is. Technically, parasites could have already gotten in here. Boy, life sure would be a lot nicer if I had super missiles. Yeah, speaking of super missiles... Pretty sure that's what I need to get through here. Get through that particular organic barrier thingy. There it is. Man, these guys take a lot of missiles to get through. Of course. The way I want to go is destroyed. I believe... Ooh. Then... Haha! You stupid gooey thing, you thought you could stop me? Ow! You're not in the background? Damn, washed out colors. Alright, can I just... Can I get my new gun? My new Rudy Tooty point and shooty? Aha! So, in this game, missiles stack like beam upgrades. Also, you can't turn anything off in Fusion. Once it's on, it's on. You kind of just gotta learn to deal with it. Huh. Giant gaping... Oh, come on. Ah! The world is collapsing! Why is everything always being destroyed behind me? Ooh, recharge room. Don't mind if I do. I don't know if the sprite for the missiles changes whenever you get super missiles or not. For some reason I thought there was something else in here. Full missiles, yes. Alright, so... It's time for... I mean, I guess you'd just call it a boss, really. It's more of a mini-boss than anything, though. Damn it, these stupid flare bombs. Damn it. I think the speedrun strat for this one is basically just stand on top of it and take a bunch of damage and just feed it super missiles. But I'm not good enough to take the precise amount of damage needed to not die. I'm definitely not saying that I was any good at this fight when I was younger. Now, but at this point, I kind of know what I'm doing enough to get around it. At least he was nice enough to clear a path out. Ow. Okay, so... Screw attack? Really? Okay, well, we're not going that way then. Oh, can I please get back up there? I would like to try to get whatever is through there. Alright, so here's how we're going to do this. Ooh. So that's how you get that. Good to know. I learned a thing today. I'm happy with that. Also because of the fact that, you know, missiles and super missiles aren't separate items anymore. They're much more prevalent to pick up missile packs. Alright, what do you got for me, Tin Can? Speak to me, Tin Man. I see that you encountered a rogue security robot. You may destroy it if you meet it again. Your safety is vital. But as to your brief, level 2 security locks are released, so sectors 5 and 6 are open. That means those sectors have likely been infiltrated by X. They are much harder to stop than we initially suspected. Sector 5 is sub-zero. You're still susceptible to cold from the vaccine side effects, so you'll take damage if you even set foot inside there. Avoid Sector 5 for now, but in the meantime, HQ is working on data to adjust your suit for extreme temperatures. Once we have the transmission, you can download it. But the X have destroyed all the data rooms you've used so far. I no longer doubt their capacity for critical thought. You'll have to use the data room in the night habitat, Sector 6. Go to Sector 6 and access a navigation room there. Is your objective clear? Tread lightly, Samus. You are the only one who can do this, and the X may be much more dangerous than we know. Ah, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's good. Just chill. It's all Gucci. Hey, what's this? I was wrong about elevator cutscenes. Does Samus suspect anything? No, I do not think so. Good. Monitor her closely. Affirmative. Out. That's not good. I don't like that. Don't like that one at all. Alright. Sector 6, which is the 5th of 6 that we've entered so far. And the point where we get a new paint job. Or rather, we should. The various suit data is here from HQ, ready to download. Get moving to a data room. But there's a problem. X from the Sub-Zero sector are in Sector 6. And they've been changed by the cold. If you absorb one, you'll be frozen from within. This seems like a deliberate tactic. Once you download the various suit modification, you'll be out of danger. Just be extremely careful until then. The Sector 6 data room is here. Remember, avoid the blue X. Use your beam to stun them in order to get by. Be careful. They're hunting you actively now, Samus. And this area is very dark. Proceed with extreme caution. Well, I was just going to charge head in, guns blazing like I always do. But if you suggest some caution, then I guess I will tone the guns down just a little bit. That's a lie. We're going in full blast here. There's nothing you can do to stop me. Oh, I can just break that already. Wait, no! Stop squirming at me! I don't like it. Wait, seriously? What the hell? There's just a little man trapped in a room? What the hell? Or is it just to, like, let me know that there's... I guess that's just to clue me into the fact that there's a thing here? Alright. That was one of the blue guys. Yes, they do start appearing all over the place now. There's all these side rooms, but really going into them at this moment is more a danger than anything because of the blue X. And the massive amount of damage they do to me. We're gonna bounce this way for the save room. And what health we can get back. Because this actually is a fairly dangerous area because the blue X are hidden everywhere because they're assholes. Turbo button, so nice. Yep. That's what I was afraid of. I don't know if I've ever actually played this with headphones to hear the sound of Sam's heartbeat before. But this is absolutely an area where, again, you can just get slaughtered. And I know a lot of times when I was younger doing this, after getting stuck down here, I would be over here somewhere when the power bombs went off and cleared all these blocks. And if you're over here, it sees you, like, immediately. Oh, that's diabolical. But ultimately, Because I waited long enough, we're safe now. Because I do not want to run into it. I do not. Oh my god, do I not want to. Because it's seriously like if it hits you, you're frozen, and then it just hits you with a missile. So you take a bunch of damage from being shot in the first place. And then you take a whole bunch more as it just unloads on you. I think I lost more health than I gained and all that. But at the very least, I can one-shot eye doors now. Yay! I think I actually managed to hit it once before it disappeared. This is a weird boss. It's honestly probably the least damaging enemy in the game. Which is kind of weird to say in a game that is just absolutely full of enemies that do a ton of damage. Also weird to think that the missiles are 3 times as effective now as they were last time I fought a Core X. And it takes even more missiles to kill this Core X than any of the last ones. But we got more green! Got even more green now. Alright, so I can't actually climb up that tunnel right now. I think I have a little bit longer before they realize that I'm too cool for school. Yeah, so this is basically if you took a bunch of damage in that fight and aren't up to full yet. That's the point. This is the point where the game's like, here, have a bunch of health. But also, with Various Suit now, we take less damage from everything. If it's like the older games, it's 25% less. Or 50. It would be 50. I think it's 25 in this game. As part of the whole, you know, everything is really dangerous gambit. Okay, but now I don't have to worry about Blue X, so I can explore these other rooms to my heart's content. Power bombs and screw attack. Uh-huh. There is something in the wall there. Very strange. Also, I don't think they really talk about it at all anywhere, but the hell. That's why I tried shooting it ahead of time. But I think one of the side effects of the X becoming blue is that they lose their ability to shapeshift, which is why you never see any of them, any enemies turn into blue X later in the game. I have no idea if that's an actual thing or not, but that's what I'm going with, considering, you know, I'm not given any further information on the subject. We're not afraid to headcanon in this house. So, if I remember correctly, the first time I played this, this is the point in the game where I stopped having quite so much trouble once I had a little bit more defensive capability. But that was a very long time ago, so I have no idea at this point. Because let me tell you, I used to be terrible at Metroid games. How did that X download the various suit data? This doesn't seem to make any sense at all, unless the X have the ability to process data organically. At any rate, you have the various suit data. Now you will be protected from extreme temperatures. More importantly, the SAX will no longer be able to freeze you, so you can escape easier. But you're still too weak. That thing's too much for you. You currently have no way of damaging it. My simulations indicate that a penetrating weapon like the plasma beam might work. Developing modification data will take HQ some time, though. There's also a chance that you may be able to restore your plasma beam by absorbing a large core X as you did with the charge beam function. As for restoring ice beam functionality, I doubt it. Your current cellular makeup would reject that addition. Therefore, HQ has developed an ice missile upgrade. This will add a freezing effect to your missiles. It will help. Go to Sector 5 for the download. Is your objective clear? Now get moving. So, I get the narrative reasons for ice missiles. I get the narrative reasons, certainly, but as far as gameplay goes, they really suck compared to just a beam. Sector 5 is all the way at the end. What are we doing time-wise here? 15 more minutes. Let's see if we can't get to the ice missiles. This is the part where you tell me there's security hatches for the data room here. You need to download data for the ice missile upgrade, but as you might expect, the data room here is secured. Level 3 security hatches are yellow. Release the security lock and download data as usual. And experiment with those new missiles. They will be helpful. You know what to do. Go to it. See, with all the subterfuge and bioweapon... Wait, really? nonsense going on. I have to wonder if their whole goal here wasn't to get Samus to make the SAX even more deadly than it already was. Or just to test its capabilities to see how useful of a bio weapon it could be. Which, I mean, they do later state that they wanted to capture it, but, like, bad idea, bruh. But I just really wonder at what point, you know, everything actually becomes all sinister plots and whatnot. Also, here we have examples of another old enemy being modified and spliced to be deadlier than it would be normally. Here we go. Don't hit me. I said don't hit me. You things don't listen very well. I can't go this way. One neat thing about Fusion, though, is the fact that a number of these environments will stay damaged after you've been through them. Oh. That was unfortunately precise. So, a lot of these, like... So, like, I think this room is basically permanently open like this now. Because I destroyed those walls. Which really is a cool touch. Like, don't get me wrong. So I can't actually do anything with that yet because I don't have the ice missiles. So I just have to go exploring other ways to sneak around everything. These are the weird little spawner things from Super that you can just keep shooting over and over. They spawn off the little things that give off health and then they eventually explode, so you can't abuse it forever, but they're in Super they're a function refill function essentially. But yay, yellow hatch is open, which means the X are going to infect even more places. Ow! Fucking knock it off. Do you see what I mean by taking a ton of damage? Alright. Yellow hatches are open! Okay, no, those ones... That section of floor did not stay broken. Which is weird. I wonder why. Wonder what the distinction is. Alrighty. Ice effect added to missiles. Use it to freeze enemies. I already know we can't go back to the left because, I fell all the way down. Alright, well, I guess we're going to test out these new ice missiles. Ah, betrayal! Good. I like energy tanks. Energy tanks make me a very happy bounty hunter. Alright. Now that I can freeze those, I can get out. Where... I want to save. I do want to save. That is a thing that I want to do. Alright, so... you get infected. And then I have to... essentially back up enough for you to do that. And we get that nice running start. And we can come up and out. And we just sneak out like that. And we are home free, baby. Aside from whatever the hell that was in the background. I'm sure that's not going to come back to bite us in the ass at all. I mean, this is just a video game. My actions don't have consequences. Oh, yep. I thought this was next. And I thought I said something about it, but I guess I don't remember if I did or not. So... this is the last save I'm going to get before all hell breaks loose. Emergency in Sector 3. The area could melt down soon. It seems the main boiler's cooling unit is malfunctioning. This could easily destroy the entire research station, as it would likely trigger the auto-destruct explosives. We have about 6 minutes. Hurry to Sector 3 and access the control room to the side of the main boiler room. Most of the systems in Sector 3 are down because of this. Again, we know who to blame. The SAX must have hacked into the system control file. What impressive intelligence. There's little time. Hurry to the control room in Sector 3. The only thing I can think right now is that the voice files must take up a lot of room. Oh, that's right. It's the very next one over. Duh. The voice files must take up a lot of room that the Game Boy cartridges couldn't afford. Because there is voice acting in this game, there's just not a lot of it. Yep, all the systems are shut down in here. Yeah, so basically you have to go a long looping path to get through all of this. But in any case, coming down here earlier would not have been advisable due to all these superheated rooms. Like, I know they gave Adam voice acting in Dread, so I don't understand why they didn't think to do it here, unless, like I said, the whole... No. The whole, memory issue. Okay, so little bits of fire on the floor will hurt me, which is dumb. Okay, we're almost there. Out, lava. Out, out. Why is there lava on a space station? Who in the hell thought that was a good idea? Ow. Yeah, this one's just... This one's a little more difficult to dodge. Wide beam ability recovered. Beam widens dramatically. In earlier games, this was called the Spazer beam. Cooling unit operational. There we go. Crisis averted. And now I got this nice fatty beam. So we can hit more enemies in a wider spread. But also, really, there's nothing else down here. The X got inside and just started mucking things up, as they do with everything. And that's really all there is to it. So now, we can just take our time getting out of here. But also, we really don't need to crouch to deal with low enemies anymore. It really makes dealing with a lot of the awkwardly placed enemies a lot easier. It can make it very easy to clear a room of little guys. So things like that. Plus, it does more damage by virtue of technically being more hitboxes than the previous weapon. I mean, the flare on it is technically also bigger, but considering I'm not really attempting to use the charge flare for much of anything, it's not that big of a concern for me. Now, don't even think about it. Can you not? I have to go up this way to get out. Right? Please? Okay, I guess that's just not actually an opening. Alright, well, got various suits the last time we came through here, so might as well stop in here and see what treats await. Stupid side hoppers. Nah, that wasn't good. Okay, well, if I was gonna get knocked off anywhere, I guess closest, literally right above the part where I can jump back up from is ideal. Hello. Oh. I got you. I got you, fam. What in the absolute insanity is this? What is your goal here, Nintendo? What? Okay, so somehow I get up to the E-tank and then this seems like something to figure out once I have space jump. But this also seems like I'm taking the lazy way back. So I'm absolutely not climbing the whole way back across that. It's annoying.